Now, my perspective as a company man who has several marketing objectives is that I need to support the company in achieving sales and growth, promote and increase brand awareness and image, and promote the firm's commitment to proper ethics practices and an appropriate corporate social responsibility, or CSR, program. Under the assumption that the firm wants to achieve the latter objective, CSR, based on sincere humanitarian desire rather than financial gain, I will want to ensure that my marketing activities support all three in synchronization with the company's values. At least at the present time, counterculture is a marketable attribute that can assist with influencing change when it is perceived to be countering the status quo. REI was able to do this by engaging its loyalty base, encouraging them to eschew the Black Friday tradition and spend Friday after Thanksgiving doing healthy activities outdoors. They additionally amplified this by closing their doors on Black Friday and giving all of their employees a paid day off to do the same. This wasn't arbitrary. They did it because they knew it would resonate with their customer base. They used technology to not only promote the concept, but they used a simple hashtag #OptOutside, to capitalize on our obsession with posting photographs, to enable and empower the campaign participants to share their counterculture experience. This added to return on marketing investment for REI because they were able to capture and use the millions of photos from willing participants in future marketing promotions. Additionally, the value of the marketing investment multiplied because of the substantial user-generated content being created by regular customers self-promoting REI through their own social media circles. This type of plan is genius, and while critics scoffed at REI in the month leading up to the first hashtag #OptOutside, the plan worked better than REI could have hoped and continued for the next 2 years with even greater numbers in attendance. Best of all, REI did not lose money. In fact, REI made more money than the year prior, despite being closed on Black Friday, because of the impact that their risk had on the consumer. Also an indication that people are losing interest in the physical Black Friday tradition. Even though Black Friday closure included the online marketplace, people just made their purchases the following Monday after having been part of a social change that they perceived to be meaningful and genuine. The key to the success, whether for REI or for any other firm wishing to influence change, is that it must be perceived as meaningful and genuine. Many businesses attempt to implement CSR as a means to improve brand image, raise the value of stock, or increase sales. However, in the long run, customers can see the difference. As an additional caveat, the LuLaRoe Company, a popular catalog and online-based consultant sales firm, is embroiled in scandal as of January 27th of this year because it sided with a singular consultant and their poor decision online rather than a highly networked social advocacy group, the National Down Syndrome Society. For backup story on this, the consultant who worked for LuLaRoe made some disparaging comments online about an individual with Down syndrome. LuLaRoe attempted to spin the issue against the National Down Syndrome Society, saying that LuLaRoe terminated the relationship with the National Down Syndrome Society. Previously, LuLaRoe had supported them financially, reaping the benefits of an association with the same highly developed and connected network, when in fact, National Down Syndrome Society had officially announced hours before LuLaRoe that they were no longer willing to accept donations from LuLaRoe. This is an example of how a firm's corporate social responsibility only goes as far as the customer's perception of its sincerity and credibility. When LuLaRoe was perceived by NDSS and its masses to take inadequate action against a consultant who blatantly ridiculed people with Down syndrome in a publicly posted video on YouTube, LuLaRoe lost all credibility in terms of its support to NDSS. Personally, I'm biased as my daughter has Down syndrome. But LuLaRoe attempted to communicate that they had taken adequate action, but would not go so far as to terminate the consultant's contract, thus negatively affecting the perception of the NDSS and a majority of its members. Like REI using its like-minded customers to effect change, this is an example of mobilizing people with a common perspective in support of social change. To put the NDSS network in perspective, each year various chapters hold their annual collective fundraiser called the Buddy Walk. Last year, over 300 of these fundraisers took place, bringing in a total of 250,000 participants nationally and raising $9.5 million for local services and programs benefiting individuals with Down syndrome. One of the keys to invoking change and promoting social movements is the ability and the mechanisms to mobilize a group. REI has been able to do it consistently with the #OptOutside campaign, and while NDSS was not likely able to cause enough of a problem to completely shut down LuLaRoe by its boycott, it will certainly have lasting impacts on their brand and their bottom line.